your energy not just up, my friend?
Well, it's got to be jacked up because for the first time ever in the history of this program, I just put us onto YouTube.
Hey, look at that. We're on the not quite TV thing that's on the computer that you can watch if you want to. How exciting. What's that?
It's kind of TV. Yeah,
not quite.
When I talk to my students, they care more about being on YouTube than they care about being on TV.
I believe that to be true, but you can get onto YouTube with zero effort.
It's not hard. You need
TV,
a Gmail.
somebody has to decide you're on there. Now, when you're on YouTube, somebody has to decide to watch. So the question is anybody watching us on YouTube? It's like the tree falling in the forest thing.
The great Jake the Hater, he's on right now.
What's up, Jake?
Fishbowl Saturday.
Where am I at here? Is that me on the
yeah,
screen?
there you go. I can move the camera around wherever you want. Dude,
Can
you got
you
Adam
really?
Jones on now? There are thousands of listeners in
Man,
here.
it is a thing. So yeah, you and I could have just stayed in our basements and put ourselves on YouTube. Nobody's gonna care. But you put it on 1080 The Fan airwaves plus YouTube. Now you got something.
Well, just wait, because you're also on Twitch.
I'm on Twitch.
Yeah, you're Twitch.
I don't think I've ever been on Twitch before.
It's an
Is that one of those
interesting,
drugs that the kids are taking?
I think the kids are taking the drugs that make you Twitch. Twitch is its own
thing.
streaming platform.
Is Twitch where Myers Leonard goes and shouts racist things at people while playing video games?
I think he was on Twitch when he did that. I think he was. Although now there's like competing
there's
spots.
other places to shout racist things while you're playing video games?
Well, look, man, I'm not big on the streamers, but I had like some 5th grader yelling at me the other day, I don't go home and watch Twitch, I watch Kick.
I got a new personal high on a video game last night. I mean, I play very seldomly, but I got a high score on the old Switch bowling. Not as good as Wii bowling.
Do you actually like bowl? Like
you swing the arm, yeah. You do the same thing, but you played the Nintendo Wii. That would have been in your formative years.
Loved the Wii.
But was there anything better than the 100-pin bowling?
No. Oh, well, I like the boxing on there, too.
Boxing was fine, but 100-pin was,
trying to get as much as you can get knocked down?
For video bowling games.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay. I was like, as far as bowling games,
yes.
Yeah.
There are better.
The sword one.
Yeah.
There was stuff to do.
They had what was it? It wasn't called the Power Pad, but it had like the pad where you could run and jump and
the
do all
Wii
that
Fit.
Thing.
Yeah.
We did that way too much.
That was fun. I remember how like people bought that and they're like, I'm going to get in shape now. I've got the Wii Fit. Like, okay.
So yesterday, sunshine is out, and so we pull out the grill, made some burgers, and then my wife called my sister-in-law and was like, "Hey, if you and the kids want to come over, they happen to be at the mall. We live near the mall in Vancouver, so they popped on by. Next thing you know, they're all playing Switch together. My niece, my nephew, and my two daughters. So they're playing, and then I had to jump in for a little bit of bowling. But it was my favorite part of it was my niece, 14. They're playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah, love Smash Bros.
Her character,
Kirby?
the Wii Fit yoga instructor.
Oh.
And she is wiping the floor.
Dominating.
I don't know if she was dominating. Might be a little bit of a stretch because I want to give my nephew.
She's dominating.
So she's 14, nephew 11. Let's say 11. Okay. He is rocking the giant pink Donkey Kong out there. And then they're wiping the floor with the twins. There's no question that the final match every time was Donkey Kong versus Wii Fit Gal, which is pretty entertaining to watch. And they drew me in, and next thing you know, I'm Wii bowling, personal best.
Look, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, with the Smash Bros, best character, Kirby.
Kirby.
You eat the other character, and then you jump off the side, and then you spit him out and jump back up.
Oh, you can't poop him out.
I think Kirby's got a little bit of Kim Jong-un. Like,
gotcha.
I don't know that they defecate. I don't know how Kirby works.
I didn't know that about Kim Jong-un.
You haven't heard that before?
No, I don't pay attention
It's
to any
well
of that
known.
stuff.
Well, look, I keep up on my world dictators,
Obviously.
so I know how to not be like them. But
is
Kim
that what
Jong-un
you
is
do?
hilarious. Yeah, I mean, you know what they say. Keep your enemies or your friends close, enemies closer.
Ooh,
I got to make sure that I know what they're doing so I know what not to do.
So can you do me a favor? You and I interact a fair amount.
Yes.
Let me know if I start picking up any of these dictator tendencies. Because I'm not gonna go as far as you are. I'm not gonna follow them. But if you go, hey, it's a little warlordy what you're doing
What's
there,
going
or
on?
dictatory, or if I start turning into a fascist and don't know it, can you just Just throw me a bone.
It's
That's all.
like-
Is that a fair ask?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
It's like the Office scene where Dwight has to give the speech, and Jim takes all of the dictator speeches and adds it into Dwight's. So he's pounding on the podium.
Yeah, there you go.
We will sell paper better than anyone has ever done.
Oh, The Office is fantastic. We were just talking
Great
about
show.
shows that might need to be rewatched. I have a friend that said they started Seinfeld from zero, which
You don't have to start Seinfeld from zero.
well, it's always why not?
You can just start it wherever.
I understand that, but I'm saying you go episode 1 through. I mean, because that'd be like the fact that you can.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest. I mean, I watched. You're younger than I am, so
I am.
you probably didn't watch any Seinfeld live, or maybe with your parents.
Oh, no, not live. I mean, what,
like
they
new
went off-
episode this Thursday
they went
on
off air
Must See
and-
TV or whatever it was.
They went off air in what, 97?
Oh,
and-
I don't.
I was going to say,
recall.
like,
It's been a while.
I got a very brief end of Friends. That's the extent.
Okay. So yeah, okay. So but even
Go
the
for it.
idea of going and watching, but in syndication, I'm sure you caught a fair share of episodes where it's like,
I
all
was
right,
in the pool.
today we're showing this random episode from this random season.
Mhm.
Very different than going today. You can just go, hey, cue it up, season 1, episode 1, start there, see
Mhm.
where we finish.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I just got done watching Suits. I went through that, and
Yeah.
everyone else did it, so I was like, I might as well.
Everyone else did it.
Yeah, everyone went through and watched Suits. Now they did it last
I've watched
summer.
0 minutes of Suits.
It's fine.
Okay.
Like as far as like that kind, it's like in between HBO and network because they can
It's
cuss.
USA, isn't it?
Yeah, so they can
It's
cuss.
the station
and
that brought you
they can't.
silk stockings back in the day.
I've never heard of that, but
Oh yeah.
But hey, look, Harvey Specter's the man, and then everyone else is like, well, and the one lady's now like a princess, so like that's cool.
Oh, that the show the princess is on?
Yeah, dude.
And is she still a princess? And yeah, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you keep
Dude,
an eye on the
you know
royal
what I mean?
family so you could be more like them too.
No, you want to talk about fascists? No, I was just admiring her craft. She's a quality actress.
Yeah, there you go.
She's very impressive with what she can do. I think that he should have let her keep acting. I think that's bogus for the
That's-
royal family.
Does she need to? Like, isn't the idea
No.
when you're a kid, it's like, I either want to be an actress, a singer, or a princess. She checked 2 of those boxes. And princess greater than acting. So it's like, why keep doing anything?
I think it depends on the actor. I mean, if you got to be if
okay.
you get to be Beyonce, I think that trumps princess. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, they trump princess.
They're still working.
Yeah, but they don't.
she's
Again,
just-
they don't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
If
They-
Taylor Swift didn't want to,
Yeah.
this is it. She could be done. She's like a billionaire.
Okay, so let's say
Also, the princess works.
Are
She
there-
had a podcast, kind of.
oh, she kind of did a podcast.
Yeah, do you
so
not
she got
remember
bored.
that?
No,
do you
I
not
don't.
remember that story where she like didn't show up? She had the interns ask the questions, and then she would record herself asking the questions.
No, that's fantastic. Again, I don't follow this.
Dude, you gotta follow
this
your
world
fascists.
news. I don't. So the idea is, if let's say, Taylor Swift is,
Probably
dating
not a
football
fascist.
royalty.
Yeah,
Not a fascist.
probably.
She probably is, or
Probably
is
not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay. You're not sure on her political leanings.
Yeah, the only thing I know is she probably flies her airplane a little bit too much.
Oh, she flies it herself? That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
probably.
That's pretty-
She does everything else herself.
Might
No
as well.
features.
So she's dating NFL royalty, but not
Right.
true royalty. Like, I don't even know. So are there princes out there that would, like, outside of, the English royals who are both married off, are there any, like, is there somebody in Austria or Finland or
I'm sure. I mean,
Denmark that somebody's like, ooh, if Prince will, Chucklebottom over there
Yeah.
comes around, then we've got something going.
I'm
Like,
sure.
if a prince showed up and swept her off her feet, would she keep working?
Taylor
So-
Swift?
Yeah, does somebody
Well,
have
yeah, I mean,
does somebody have
Travis
a big
Kelce
enough
already
royal
did.
vault? Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we only care about the British royal family. I don't think any of the other royal, like,
Yeah, I
we
don't know.
all admit to each other the other royal families are stupid.
Oh,
But
is
for
that-
some reason, we don't admit that about the British one. Like right now, I bet you.
How
you
many
don't
active
even know-
royal families have leadership in their countries?
I think
though? I
they
mean,
all do.
most of
Like in Europe?
mainland Europe, aren't they all democracies?
Well, yeah,
Republics?
but the British royal family doesn't do anything. Like Prince Harry's not out there making royal decrees that anyone's listening to. We just care about them for some stupid reason. They
There's
don't
not
do
some
anything.
suave Portuguese prince out there that everybody's like, "Hoo." No, that doesn't exist.
Not that I mean, I'm not looking into it. But right now, you don't. So, do you even know what's going on right now in the royal family? It's like the big talk of Twitter.
No, I don't.
Kate Middleton hasn't been seen for months.
Did she get Princess Died?
Well, so that's the thing. No one knows. Now, I haven't gone full conspiracy theory into this. I've been saving that for a lazy Sunday.
Okay, tomorrow sounds like a perfect day. You can sit up on the pool and do it.
Right? And
Yeah.
I can drink because it's St. Patty's Day.
Well, I think you can drink.
No, I can drink because it's St. Patty's Day.
I know, but I think you can
That's
drink.
the reason.
Okay.
That's the excuse.
Okay.
Like, I gotta do it. It's St. Patty's Day. What do you want me to do? Sit at home? It's St. Patty's Day.
That's what the Irish would be doing, is drinking and conspiring around the royal family, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
All
I'm just embracing
That
their
checks out.
traditions.
Gotcha.
But she had to have like some kind of hernia surgery or something, or at least that's what the royal family says back in like November. No one's seen her since. Then it's like, well,
They took her royal kidney.
is Prince William cheating on her? Is Kate Middleton dead? Did she get a BBL? Did she get a face plastic surgery done? Like, these are all questions that are going out. She released a picture the other day, like with her kids on Britain's Mother's Day, because it's different than ours.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it threw off my Oscar
It's
viewing,
super weird.
which I don't normally watch the Oscars, but my wife got very much into it, and then I realized, oh yeah, I have like that pause restart TV thing that I can do.
I can do
And so we recorded it on the Fubo and watched it, and everybody kept going, "Happy Mother's Day!" And finally, somebody goes, "Just so you know, it is English Mother's Day, so you can all like stop saying that we're wrong with the day and the whole thing. It's weird for
our
Americans. I
Mother's
get it,
Day."
but yeah. So, anyways,
Dude, she released a picture. She's got all the kids.
yeah.
Photoshopped.
Was
The
it really?
sleuths went in. They're like, that's Photoshop. That's not Kate. She had to apologize and delete the tweet.
She genuinely sent a Photoshop picture of it. Ooh,
Yeah,
now,
she had, like-
buddy.
It was like AI. She had like 6 fingers or was missing a finger or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I thought we were going to talk some NFL free agency. I thought we'd talk quarterbacks. Do the
Dude.
Bears have any idea what they're doing? How excited you were as a Seahawks fan that Aaron Donald retired? Like all of these things that I wanted to talk about. March Madness is coming up. The Ducks are playing tonight at 6.
right.
We got 5:30 pregame here on the Fan. All of these things. I think the rest of the show is just digging into this.
We're going to have to figure out who's a fascist and what are they doing.
Okay.
Is Kate Middleton dead,
Yeah.
or did she get a BBL, or does she have facial reconstruction?
You've got Pro Football Reference, Pro Baseball Reference, College Football Reference. Do I have a fascist tab on there and a royal family tab?
Let's see.
So I do most top 10 fascists in the world.
Reference.
Did it work?
There's a Barbie fascist reference.
Barbie fascists.
Oh, I guess they made a joke about it.
All right. All right.
No.
No. All right. Do
Unfortunately,
we get
you
stats?
can't rank them.
Like fascism
Like
stats.
Like, yeah, back in
Like you have the QBR. So it'd
back
be
in
like,
1933, this person hit the triple double.
well, you have war in baseball. Like why not have like what's the what do the
there
analytics say?
war?
What's the analytics say?
How many quad 1 wins did
Yeah.
Stalin have?
What's a repression above replacement? Like,
what? What was Mussolini's net ranking?
Yeah. Oh, I'm taking
Would
Franco
he
pretty
have-
high. I don't know how much you've read about the Spanish Civil War, but Franco and his
I'm gonna have
dictatorship.
to go back.
Pretty good.
I haven't gone fully into my history era yet. I think that's
Oh yeah,
coming.
it's when you get older. I'm in my 40s. I'm like fully immersed in the like what happened in the world before I stopped caring about the world.
We'll see. Look, that's the thing. I'm not there yet.
Oh no.
But I'm definitely adjacent. Like I'm starting to like get really excited when I have a social studies class and we're watching like the history of us.
Yeah. Well, you are a much older 27-year-old.
26.
26. See? All right, right there.
I'm starting to get
But then most, you would admit, like you're one of those, like that's why you fit in with all the old men on this station just fine. It's because let's be honest.
I'm starting to get I'm having questions about Stalin and other like Mussolini and those like fascists and I want to know. I want to know the history.
Well, here's my favorite one is
Your favorite fascist? Yeah. I can't wait.
do you know why Spain was not involved in World War II?
No. Guy didn't want to deal with it?
Hitler thought that Franco was insane. Had a meeting with him, and Franco's like, I'd love to join the Axis of Evil. I'm kind of all in on this. And
Here's
this is
my
something I didn't know.
resume.
I did not know he did. He kind of goes here, and like Hitler left and goes, no, I'm not talking to this guy. He's insane. I don't want him as part of this.
I don't wanna deal
He's going to
with
make
this.
it more difficult for Germany and Italy to, wreck Europe than he would be. Like, I'm not working with that guy. That's a true thing.
The guy who's on speed and meth and is out there murdering people and just being downright the worst person of all time.
Like, yes, like if you're ranking worst people all time, like he's definitely there. Like power rankings have him real high. And he met with this dude and went, nah, dude.
Like there's you're too far out there.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like, and you're out there in the wrong directions. Like, he's like, I don't want to have to go in and train your army because you have no idea what you're doing. Like, they just came out of a civil war, and Germany and Italy did most of the destruction for them. He's like, no. He's like, thanks, but no thanks.
He's like, you're crazy.
You ever think it was weird that like
really
the Iberian Peninsula is just somehow absent for World War II?
Dude, and that's the thing. That's how you know I'm getting history curious. I'm starting to think about it.
I'm all in on it.
Didn't even think about it, and now I have to go do some research on this Marco guy.
Yeah, Franco,
my bad.
Yeah.
I get him confused with James.
Yeah. So we'll get in there. Yeah, James Franco also not a good guy.
Not
I don't know if
good
he's
guy.
on the dictator hierarchy.
Is he the worst Franco? Dave
know.
shooting up the power rankings of good Francos.
All right. Do you want to talk some sports?
I would love to sports.
Seahawks fan? Yes.
I am a Seahawks fan.
How happy are you that Aaron Donald is gone? That's where we start things. We'll do that next. Sinner and Saint on 1080 The Fan.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing.
Just feels like it has kind of that rough grime to it. Perfect.
Well, you know
Well
me. They don't call me the best fill-in part-time producer for nothing.
Oh, they don't. They don't. You're just
In
taking
fact,
over the
they don't call
airwaves,
me
though.
that.
Taking over the airwaves. Will Ortner.
Like a fascist?
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, dominating the airwaves.
Nothing. Didn't say that. I'm not planning world domination.
Nope. Hey, well, listen. If this is your start, it'll be a fun read. Like humble beginnings.
How did Will take over? Well, he got control of the airwaves.
That's right. That's right. And then he started propaganda speech, and nobody seemed to notice because he was so inconsequential. But then people started rallying behind him. Next thing you know,
no one paid attention, and then all of a sudden,
next thing you know,
someone gave him the power, and look at what he's done.
yeah, first thing you do is take over the media,
Yeah,
right? Oh, let's go.
yeah. Just propagandize everything. I just need to start pounding my fists more. Talk about how other people are making you
Yeah.
lesser than.
Yeah,
not
well, yeah. You
yourself.
started as a slow roll. Like I think, hey, if you're on the right path, I mean, I'm
Start with my sports takes.
I'm a
and
little-
then shift.
I'm a little worried that I'm going to become one of your puppets right here. Like the people around him didn't even know what they were doing. He was orchestrating it so well. You want to fill in? Absolutely, I do. For no other reason than I enjoy being on the show. I don't have any other ulterior motives. Why are you asking?
Why are you starting a super PAC, Will?
Starting, he already has one.
Why do you keep building? What's happening?
Yeah. 2024 is the presidential election year. Is it surprising that he's filling in for every single show?
Why are you wearing lots of...
Do you have an evil laugh?
No, I just have a laugh.
Nah.
I don't have an evil laugh, but I can do the little
Yeah.
finger thing. The people on the radio...
Do the finger thing.
Yeah,
Our 6 viewers on YouTube, I'm sure, are
Mwah.
very excited about the finger tap. All right. So, as a Seahawks fan, I've heard everybody praising Aaron Donald this week. Another one of those guys. I talk about this all the time. I appreciate his greatness. I hate Aaron Donald. Come on, man. That guy just wrecked people.
Dude, he dominated.
He was so freaking good for so freaking long. I mean, 10 years, 10 Pro Bowls, 3 Defensive Players of the Year, more sacks than any interior lineman ever, 4 sack games, 2 sack games, like whatever metric you want to judge him by. He was an absolute annoyance to me. And it's like knowing that you have Aaron Donald in the center of the defense not only throws off like your quarterback's gameplay, but you ain't running through him either. Like that was his thing. He was so well balanced, so good, good riddance.
Well,
Right?
and he also fit that mold of like he could play the 1 if you wanted to go small. He could, that's right up on the center. If you wanted, him in his normal position, he's in a 3 tech, so he's just outside shade of the guard. If you wanted to go big, you could put him on the outside. He was so fast. I want to say he ran like a 4.8 at 300 pounds with a 6-pack bench pressing 5 plates plus. Like the guy is just a freak because he shouldn't have been as good as he was. Like the moves that Aaron Donald did, his main move is he'd get off the ball, he'd jump in the air and arm chop. You know what they tell you to never do in football?
Don't jump.
Don't ever
You
jump.
lose all of your leverage. You lose the
Yes.
connection to the ground. You don't have anything to push off of.
Yes.
So
yeah,
if
he
some
could
guy
do
jumps in the air against you,
slam him
every time.
every time. And it wasn't, I was like, please jump. Please,
Yes.
please. Aaron Donald, please don't jump. He has some of the most hilarious pictures where there's a center and both guards on him while a linebacker runs completely free.
Yeah.
He gets triple teamed.
Yeah.
So that other guys can run free. It's like walking Barry Bonds intentionally with the bases loaded. Hilarious.
They would walk in runs for him basically.
Yes.
I mean that's the comparison. That's a great comparison. I hadn't heard that one this week, but the one that gets me about it was the idea that this is your modern defensive lineman. Like this, he looks different. He plays different. It's like, no, dude's one of one. He gets
Right.
away with things that he absolutely should not. I mean, that's the thing that I think we often forget when you see somebody that kind of breaks the mold is you look at it and go, oh, it's time to start looking at guys that have this size, shape, and no. The strength and speed are otherworldly. He shouldn't be able to move like that. I mean, people have been looking for another Reggie White or Lawrence Taylor since those guys retired.
Right.
And they just don't make them like that.
No, they're not around. I do get this is the modern D lineman in the fact of you want a D lineman that can play multiple positions. Like that's
Well,
Aaron Donald
sure.
and JJ Watt. But if you're saying I want a 6'1", 300-pound interior defensive lineman, that's not true.
Well,
I
and,
do
well,
not.
and JJ Watt had the size
Right.
and the height and the leverage that he could do, and he was dominant.
Mhm.
But he also didn't stay healthy.
Right.
That's the other thing about Aaron Donald. I mean, I haven't looked to see exactly how many games he missed, but it was not a lot.
And I think year 9 he missed like 5 or 6 games.
And that's when he started talking about retiring.
That's about it. Yeah. But I also think that he knew that his longevity, because of how much of a freak that he was, wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. He played 10 years. It kind of feels like he just started playing, right? Like, he's been this dominant.
Yeah, I guess
he's been playing for 10 years. But most of the time when you have a great like that, aside from like a J.J. Watt where they have a bunch of injuries, Aaron Donald has one season where he got banged up. Otherwise, he's pretty healthy. Most guys would keep playing. But I think that Aaron Donald also understood, like, what he has to do to be able to do what he does.
Yep.
The amount of dedication, the clean eating, the lifting, like he is a psychopath on how much he does to play the way that he has to play. Right?
You're a workout follower on like IG and whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm going after this, man.
Yeah, you track. I know, but you track down.
Oh yeah,
Like, and so watching his workout videos, how much more is he doing than everybody else in the NFL?
I don't know. That's where it gets weird. So when it comes to working out, like he's obviously a workout warrior. That's what makes him great. There are some guys like Randy Moss. Randy Moss didn't touch a plate.
Warren Sapp,
Yeah.
Suk has talked about playing across from him. That guy was just otherworldly,
Right.
with natural talent.
For Aaron Donald, obviously there's natural talent there, but he has maximized it to the umpth degree. He's a workout warrior, but what I've noticed with him isn't necessarily the workouts, it's the recovery.
Okay.
Like he's a guy who can go in and do 2-a-days. Most people can't.
Yeah.
Like if you go in and you have a good hard 1 hour workout, you're not coming back at, 5 o'clock at night to do another workout. Your body just won't recover. He's one of those guys that clearly invested and took time to, hey, I need to make sure that my body can recover during this stretch run here so that I can have these 2 workouts. I'm going to make sure that I eat clean. I'm going to make sure that I live my life so regimented that I can do all these things. So for me, when I look at it, it's his ability to understand like, hey, I need to have this recovery factor be a part of it. I need to make sure I get my sleep. I need to make sure that I go into the cryogenic chamber and get that cryotherapy. I need to make sure that the food that I put into my body is good so that I can perform at this level. And I think that is also why his career is only a 10-year career. If you look at some of the other freaks that play on the defensive line, like TJ Watt, who's for the most part been able to avoid injury issues, he had a long career. Von Miller has had a very long career, right? Those guys might not necessarily be taking into the recovery factor the way that Donald has, and Donald has to. If Donald doesn't treat his body the way he does, I don't think that he's in the league for longer than 2 or 3 years. Like his mindset and discipline is what made him as great as he is.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's a lot of times we don't see it. And it just seems so easy for guys like that.
Right.
I think that's always the misconception, right? And my kids are getting to the age where they kind of care about being good at stuff and whatever. And they're 7, so it's not a big thing. But I remember as a kid, you would watch these guys that just made it look so effortless. And somebody's like, oh yeah, well, that guy works harder than anybody has ever worked in the history of it. Jerry Rice, famous for his workouts, and Walter Payton and Michael Jordan and all of that. But you watch these guys, and when they perform, it just looks natural.
Right.
And that's where it becomes so fun and I think misleading. And the cool thing about where we are now in sports is you get access to these players and you can see what kind of effort they put in. LeBron James is like historically boring guy to hang out with outside of basketball.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to play with him because he has just been so dedicated to body, to sleep, to recovery, to diet, to, it goes on and on and on.
It's the longevity fact. It's why Allen Iverson made it 10 years. Like Allen Iverson was one of the most gifted players to ever touch a basketball.
Sure.
I mean, as
But he
far
also
as
played a
athletes
very
go.
reckless style, and
Right.
and when you rely on
And
speed
Didn't take care of his
versus,
body.
but also relying on speed
Mhm.
versus height is a very different thing too.
Right.
So having that ability and watching the way that guys transition through the game, it's the Tom Brady. Have you been watching the documentary,
The Dynasty.
The Dynasty?
I've caught a couple episodes here and there. When I tuned into it, it was just like, oh my God, we are going to make Belichick the scapegoat. And I don't know that I love that. I want the true story. I want everything. And right now it seems a little bit of, speaking of fascist, a propaganda piece from
This is Darkin's
Kraft.
take on it.
Well, it just seems like it's a propaganda piece of Kraft and Tom Brady of like, we were awesome and Bill Belichick endorsed murder. Like when you say that.
I don't get that perspective at all. Yeah, Darkins was trying to drop this on me last week. And I find it very interesting because Tom Brady won 3 Super Bowls before he went, oh, shoots, if I'm going to stay, I need to really get on the recovery wagon.
Yeah, like they talk about him being like a true guy's guy in that locker room.
Well, yeah, when he started out, that was kind of the thing. And with that team, and I think to endear yourself and to replace Drew Bledsoe, he was very much the go out and let's get beers and do this. Now, he worked really hard, and I'm not saying that you know, that he replaced it, but he got into like the Alex Guerrero TB12 method. That was after his knee injury. That was after, you know, he was like, oh, yeah, Matt Castle looked pretty good in this offense too.
Tried to tape his knee up and go play.
He did. He did.
Tore an ACL. Just tape it. Let's go.
I'll be fine. Well, and you know, we make fun of Aaron Rodgers for thinking he's going to recover from that Achilles and do that. So, but anyways, the quarterback position is very different than the defensive line position too. So, for somebody to play 10 years at the level that Aaron Donald did, to put a little bow on it, is absolutely wild.
Incredible.
So, and he was great. And you know, he didn't want to play at less than, I can't remember the guy's name that retired at halftime for the Bills a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, that guy played at less than most of his career.
Yes, I know, but
yeah.
like Aaron Donald wasn't doing that, I guess is my point. He went,
Right.
I'm going to go out on top, and he absolutely did. So whatever next is next for him, we know a gold jacket is included in that, so it'll be fun to watch to see what goes next. Speaking of quarterbacks, though, there's been a lot of movement already this year, and it includes a lot of guys that are going to play backup. There are guys that are going to be new starters in new places. So I'm going to kind of get into that and figure out what the hell you think the Bears are doing. But first, we have to get to this SportsCenter update. Best SportsCenter updates on the station.
Well, you know, that's what we do here. The news story that stuck out to me. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers is on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. shortlist.
Yeah, let's go!
For his running mate on the independent ticket in November.
Vancouver Ford text line did say Aaron Rodgers fascist?
Possibly. Right now it's between Rodgers and Jesse the Body Ventura, which is absolutely hilarious. Rodgers, 40, 4-time NFL MVP. It kind of feels like this would be the extent of New York Jets quarterback curse. Like, you finally get this quarterback to come in. He is great. He has been great. He was an MVP the year before you got him. He gets hurt in 4 plays, blows out his Achilles, and then leaves you to go be VP.
Could he not do both?
I mean, yeah, in theory,
yeah, right?
But
okay,
he's got to go to all these different meetings and all the different stuff that you're supposed to do.
But you don't need to watch film anymore. He's so great. He'll tell you. He's so great that he can just roll out there and light the league on fire. Does he have to go to meetings?
Yes, he has to go to meetings.
Sure?
He wants here's what he wants. He wants. I'm gonna tell you what he wants.
Okay.
Me and Aaron are buds.
Sure.
He wants everyone to keep talking about him.
Well,
he will either turn this down and then go, look at the lame news media. New York Times came out and made a fake story about me. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Or he will say, I'm retiring. I'm joining RFK Jr.'s ticket.
Well,
he will campaign and then say, well, we were doing this because the 2-party system is a failure in the U.S.
Yeah.
We need a third party. And even though we knew we were going to lose, we went into it knowing we did it for the civic good. And that is why RFK Jr. and I are better than everyone else.
I think he still does that and plays football. I'm telling you. That's the arrogance of this young man. I don't think you're wrong. I think he also plays football.
He's doing VP press conferences from the Jets facility.
He's doing it in the post game. So 3 questions for you, Aaron. One, on that third down, what were you doing there? Second, are you going to continue to play after this season? And 3, what do you think of foreign policy? Insert question.
You've got Laura Ingraham, you've got Don
Yes.
Lemon, and then you've got Diana Rossini, all asking
Yes.
questions back to back to back.
Come on. Well, and then in the debates where it's like, listen, when I'm looking at a cover 2, I think of that as, the way that we look at the economy right now, and just compares everything to football, and America eats it up.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Oh,
All right,
let's go.
Aaron Rodgers. Maybe a VP coming to you soon. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Will Ortner at the Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Auto accident? I'm Leif with Leif's Auto Collision Centers. Recently, a customer told me
player movement, no position more important in the sport than quarterback. We've got new faces in new places, but very curious your thoughts on whether or not there's still a market for Justin Fields. So kind of run through like the landing spots that everybody thought for Justin Fields. Felt like it was going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Atlanta Falcons, maybe moving to one of these other teams out there, whether it's the Raiders or the I don't know, maybe the Broncos, but it feels like the market is kind of drying up, and there's a lot of guys that have been backups that have been starters that are kind of moving into backup roles. You've got Desmond Ridder going to Arizona. You've got Sam Howell going to Seattle. You've got Drew Lock going to New York. So you've got these guys moving all around. Are the Bears possibly considering keeping Justin Fields? I have said multiple times that I don't think that that's the worst idea. I'm not a big Caleb Williams believer, and as you go down the pecking order or the mock drafts, I don't think that there's a lot of guys that I would take ahead of him, but I just feel like the value of the number one pick, if you trade it, the Bears last year, you can get a lot better a lot quicker by getting better on the offensive line, better at the skill positions, and having a serviceable quarterback, because a rookie quarterback's not going to come in and light the world on fire.
No, probably not. But what I've seen from Pohl, their GM right now, or Poles, he's building the best possible environment for a rookie quarterback. I feel like at this point you've gotten 3 years of Justin Fields?
Yep.
You know what Justin Fields is, and it seems like Chicago is not necessarily the place for him. What I don't understand with Fields is it's got a little bit of kind of J.J. McCarthy this year, how he's risen up in the draft. And it's like, well, I've watched him, and I've seen what he can do. And to me, I would have Penix and Bo Nix over J.J. McCarthy.
Sure.
And then the NFL experts will come out and say, no, but here's the thing. He's only asked to do these three things.
Yeah.
So he's actually
he didn't
better.
do those other things.
He didn't get asked, so you don't know if he can do those, but we think he can because we've seen him do it in shorts. It's kind of the same thing with Fields, except he's shown flashes of like, oh, look at this. Like he ran for 1,000 yards in his second year.
Yep.
Oh, look at this throw that he's made here. Look at this throw. But then you look at him and you watch a full game and it's like, he's in the pocket. There are guys open. That should be his second progression. He should have seen that. He should make that throw, and he's not. And then, of course, it's like, well, but then when you let him play backyard football, he's great. So you want to go out there and just play backyard football the entire time? No, you can't do that. So
but my fear is if you're the Chicago Bears, I haven't done these strong breakdowns on everybody else, but Caleb Williams feels like he plays a lot of backyard football, and he is coming out of a Lincoln Riley system that all it does is get guys drafted number one overall. And Baker Mayfield is having a little bit of a resurgence in Tampa Bay. He's been re-signed, and they're going to keep him there. He's won playoff games in 2 different spots.
Not bad.
But he's not a high ceiling guy that you feel like warranted the number one overall pick. Number one overall pick shouldn't be on their 4th team in 6 years, right? And if you're Kyler Murray, a guy that has all of the talent in the world, but in his big contract had to be told that you're going to need to spend at least a couple hours watching film instead of playing video games. That would be fantastic. So now you've got and Jalen Hurts looked like he regressed last year. Another guy that played in the Lincoln Riley system to get drafted 2nd round pick, but still he was run out of Alabama because there was a guy that was a lot better than him.
Right.
Now you've got Caleb Williams, who we've only seen play for an offensive coach that has college football figured out. Doesn't understand the defense at all, but he's got the offensive side of college football figured out. So here's Caleb Williams going in there. It felt like a guy that held the ball as long as anyone I can remember watching in college football and had nothing but success doing it. Now going to the NFL where if you hold the ball, it's death. There's a few guys that can get away with it. Russell Wilson did for a couple years and then got shipped off in what may be considered one of the worst trades in NFL history. Ben Roethlisberger did it for a handful of years until he figured out, I better get it out a little bit quicker. I'm going to die back here. But he was big enough and strong enough to do it for a little while. Peyton Manning hesitated early on in his career, took a lot of sacks, and threw a lot of picks.
But doesn't that describe Justin Fields? So then if you
told me... But does that describe Justin Fields or does that describe Caleb Williams? So here's my thing is if Justin Fields isn't the guy, at least you know what you have. Like if you're
Right.
Sure.
Sure.
the Bears organization, it sounds like to me, the one thing that I keep going back to is it sounds like everyone in the organization absolutely loves his work ethic, they love his potential, and they love the progress that he's made in the last couple of years. I think we can all admit that this is not a very good team around him. But if you're the Bears, don't you get better by dropping back 4 or 5 spots in this draft and adding 3 or 4 picks, whether it's this year or this year and next year? Because if you can get another pick in the top 5 next year,
Right.
plus keeping a top 5, 6, 7 pick in this year's draft and adding another second round, a third round, whatever it is, I feel like you're going to get a bigger haul than you did for Bryce Young, and you got a pretty big haul for Bryce Young.
I think the problem is, though, you have the number 1 pick 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got a big haul for Bryce Young, but you know who else was up there? Was CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud has been lighting the league on fire.
So did
If
RG3.
you-
RG3 was rookie of the year and lit the league on fire. So
tore his
ti-
ACL.
Time will. I understand,
Right.
but time will tell. Is
Right.
what I'm saying. Is there's no guarantee of success by having a guy that steps in and plays well in 1 year.
That's true. But if you trade that first overall pick, right? And Justin Fields continues to be what you think what Justin Fields has been, right?
Sure,
He continues to be that. And any of these quarterbacks hit, you are instantly going to get lambasted, right? And
Lambasted.
Sure.
Sure.
Hawkinson accent. So when you go through with I feel like when you have back-to-back years where you have the number 1 overall pick and there is this type of quarterback class, you also have the 9th pick, which you can use that to trade back.
Yeah.
Like right now with the way the quarterback signings have gone, there are going to be more teams that want a quarterback in this first round, and it seems like there are going to be more teams that are willing to move up to get a quarterback in this
if
first
the
round.
Commanders are willing to make a move, they're picking at what, 2?
They're second, Patriots 3.
So they really want Caleb Williams. He's a hometown kid, right? If they give you anything for that, you drop back. If the Patriots think Caleb Williams is that much better than Drake May or Jaden Daniels, and they want to move up, and you can add picks by doing that, it's worth considering. If you think Bo Nix is a fraction less than Caleb Williams, you could move back to the middle of the first round and still take a quarterback. And those picking someone at 3, 5, 7, whatever it is, and keeping Justin Fields on the roster and letting them compete is a better idea than using that first pick
Right.
and letting them compete. Do you
That's saying
think
you don't want
do you
Caleb.
think Caleb Williams is a can't miss prospect at number 1?
I don't think there's such thing as a can't miss
So?
prospect. To me, Caleb Williams has the highest potential.
Okay.
And I know that I can get, it's a little bit of saying one thing out of one side of your mouth,
Yeah,
saying
I'm with
something out of the other, because Justin Fields has a super high potential if he can figure it out. I think Caleb Williams, though, when I look at Caleb Williams, and this is where it gets difficult, is there are a lot of similar characteristics that he has to the best quarterback in football right now. And in my eyes, he's the closest thing to that. Now, there are things that you have to do to help fix him. But what you've seen Poles do as the GM right now, he brought in Keenan Allen to be a wide receiver. So now you've got DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Those are 2 really good wide receivers.
Yes, they are.
Kmet, you've got a really good tight end. These are all safety valves. Your coach, he's a defensive-minded coach, but you know what? The group that made the biggest strides and made the most growth last year on that team was the defense, and it got better and better every single week. So if you take Caleb Williams, you trade back at 9 because now you don't have to go get Odunze or Neighbors as another wide receiver target for your rookie quarterback. You can trade that back and then go get the O-lineman that you need, right? Yeah. So what I think, it almost feels a little bit like early 2000s Schneider here, except for with Chicago, they're probably going to take the quarterback up so high. I just don't think that you can trade out of the number 1 overall pick 2 years in a row for a guy who has shown flashes at best of being a pretty decent quarterback in the NFL. When he's not showing those flashes, he's been horrific.
Yeah.
And if you trade that away and any of those 3 guys between Williams, May, or Daniels hits at all, you're going to get skewered. And so for me, like, if Caleb Williams isn't your guy, that's fine. If you think it's Jaden Daniels and you don't think Washington is going to take him or you don't think New England's going to take him and they're willing to offer that, then sure, you can trade that away. I just think that they thought Fields would garner more money. I think
Is
they
that
thought
what it is? And that's why they're keeping him around.
right. Well, and if you hold on to Fields, and this is where it gets weird, but if you hold on to Fields all the way until about the draft,
Yep.
and you see that a team that wanted a quarterback isn't able to get a quarterback because there's a run, well, now Justin Fields becomes more valuable.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
he
would
went-
agree with that.
He went from a guy who was, you thought you could maybe get a second round for him, to now that when you look at the market, you might get a fourth round for him. That's not great. But if you hold on and then all of a sudden,
He
hey,
looks
this person's
second-
struggling, or we thought we were going to get this person and we didn't get them, and so now we have no quarterback. Like if you're Minnesota, you have 2 first-round picks. You're clearly trying to use those to move up into the draft and go get a quarterback. Well, what if there's an unexpected twist where someone takes that quarterback that you thought you were going to get? Well, now you might, hey, maybe now you want Justin Fields.
Well, the other thing that I always look at in the NFL too, and it's always funny when people make those comparisons, and I know that you were referencing Patrick Mahomes and his greatness and how Caleb Williams can match what he's
a little
doing.
unfair.
But the other thing is situation makes such a difference and how good your team is when you bring in a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes going to take a redshirt year in the NFL behind Alex Smith, who was a consistently good to very good quarterback in the NFL, playing for, in my opinion, one of the all-time best coaches that we've ever seen in Andy Reid, who it's much easier to make the argument, but he was great long before Patrick Mahomes got there. He just never quite had all the pieces fit. In the last 2 Super Bowls, to give Andy Reid a little bit of credit, Patrick Mahomes has thrown it to wide receivers without a defender within 10 yards of him.
Right.
Like, that's the coaching effect. And you get in there and you start playing for a guy like that, your confidence goes up pretty quick. And we've talked about this with Joey Harrington on this network a lot. But as soon as he lost his confidence, that was the biggest struggle getting it back. Because once you lose that mojo, one guy that hasn't lost it at all is Patrick Mahomes. And that's because of the environment that he's in. Going to the Bears to be a quarterback where they have never had a good quarterback, save one season with Jim McMahon, it's a much, much more difficult place to play. So if you can make the team better, even if it doesn't work out this year, I wouldn't be surprised if they moved, but a lot of people would. So we'll see what happens. We need to get to some good versus evil. We'll talk about some college basketball in hour 2. Ducks are playing today for the Pac-12, the final Pac-12 championship game. But good versus evil is next right here on 1080 The Fan.
Now's the time to get
his head into the rim and the backboard and the
One of the craziest blocks I think I've seen in a while. Yes, Shaden Sharps was awesome too. I got you, Blazer fans. Luke, after all that Anthony Edwards has done this year, he's really turned Minnesota with the help of Rudy Gobert and Cat. He's turned them into one of the best teams in the West. NBA experts are starting to think that Ant could be something special. Are you thinking that Ant could be the face of the NBA?
Ooh, face of the NBA. It'd be hard to do from Minnesota. Kevin Garnett came close and had to leave to really take over that notch. It's interesting because I'm kind of optimistic for this team, but you just have to look at the history of what they've done in the Great White North, and it just doesn't feel like they've been able to ever get over the hump. All of the time that you get on that hype train, it's good. There's a couple teams that are really young and really fun to watch that are at the top of the Western Conference, but I still think the Denver Nuggets are going to be really good. If you can get the Warriors or the Lakers playing well at the end of the year, don't forget Kevin Durant is in Phoenix. I would like to see them make a little bit of a run in the playoffs, but we saw that last year with Sacramento. They looked like the team that was going to be on the rise, and they've kind of fallen back a little bit this year.
Right.
So I think there's still too much firepower, and there's too many cagey NBA veterans in the West that they have to break through on. I'm rooting for it, but I don't know if he's ready to take that leap yet. The closest guy to it recently has been John Morant. It went the wrong way for him. So I hope that there's no character issues. And I haven't heard of any with Ant. But yeah, I would love to see a young face with the athleticism of that kind of take over the lead. But I wonder how many casual NBA fans would pick him out of a lineup.
Right. He's a fun guy, but
There's no question. Not yet.
He's got the skills. Will
He's
he put it
got
all
the smile.
together?
He's been in the movie. What was the Adam Sandler?
He's the bad guy in Hustle.
Yes, Hustle. That's the movie. So he's got the charm. He's got the smile. He's got the work ethic. He's got the athletic ability. Yes, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think that you pick up a sports fan, not necessarily an NBA fan, and go, hey, like go to Seattle where they don't have an NBA team and go, who's this guy?
Would they know?
He was funny about it. I said, I'll write a check, whatever, foundation. I'm not going to let you just give me the number. I want to make it worth your while. Make a donation, whatever it needs to be. And he said, I just want, targets every game. He said, he was joking, he kind of winked. So I joked with him. I said, good answer.
That is Kirk Cousins, also known as Kirk O'Bangs, talking about getting the number 8 from Kyle Pitts. Big free agent signing. Are the Falcons now a top 5 team and possible NFC Championship contending team with the signing of Kirk?
They're certainly the best team in their division, I think, with Kirk Cousins, which makes it really easy when you're competing against, and I know it's not the fair thing to do, but you always take the quarterbacks. You got Bryce Young, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. I feel like it gives you kind of a leg up. He's been really good everywhere he's been, but the problem is still old. Big game performance,
right?
I mean, yeah, you say old.
Well, he is old coming off a torn Achilles.
Yeah, oh no, I don't discredit that. But the problem is, like, to be a contender for the NFC Championship game, you have to play big in big games. And I'm sorry, but I'd take Baker Mayfield if they're going head to head for a game, even at the end of the year in prime time, that is to settle the division. I just don't believe in Kirk Cousins. The old and coming off the Achilles is lower down on my list than the. Dude, what have you done when it matters?
Right. Well, and I mean, it's also one of those things, we just talked about it with Fields. Pitts and London have potential.
Yeah?
Will they actually achieve it, or was Arthur Smith right the whole time?
Yeah, well, one time will tell.
UConn tomorrow, what do you have to do to knock them off?
We got to have about 6 of their players get COVID.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, 6 of their players did not get COVID. That's Rick Pitino talking about St. John's chances against UConn. St. John's, of course, did fall yesterday to UConn. UConn has been absolutely dominant this year when it comes to KenPom. They're in the top of the rankings. They've blown everyone out, it seems like, for the most part, aside from a loss here or there to Creighton and the likes of teams in that way. Luke, UConn has the best chance to repeat as champions for the first time since the Billy Donovan Florida Gator team.
Well, 100% they have the best chance because they're the only team that won it last year. Nice question. Jeez. Nobody else can win back-to-back because nobody else won it last year.
Look at your propaganda. You fascist.
No, I mean they certainly do. They have age, they have experience, they have. What was the thing we were just talking about with Kirk Cousins not having? The ability to perform in big games when it matters. Danny Hurley has a good piece on Real Sports. I don't know if you ever tune into Real Sports.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Talking about, how he's really kind of shifted the narrative where he was the brother that couldn't live up to the expectations and the hype that Bobby Hurley had. His dad was a great coach when they were younger, and so he was the forgotten Hurley, and he's found his spot, and it's at UConn and it's coaching. He's awesome to watch on the sideline. It is really fun. Honestly, I think he might be the star of college basketball
he
right now.
He might be number one. I mean, the videos of fans being like,
but he might be the most watched college football or college basketball personality
of men's for sure.
Men's college basketball.
Men's
yes,
for
not
sure.
Caitlin Clark.
I saw Caitlin Clark jersey yesterday.
Oh
so,
yeah, you did. Let's go.
6-year-old.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm putting on Iowa basketball for the girls to watch. Anytime we're watching basketball,
it's fun.
Let's go.
But
yeah.
but Hurley has that too. Like I want to watch UConn games in February.
Well, and in college basketball and in college sports in general, the star is usually the coaches. So to have somebody out there with the energy and all of this, where Coach K is gone, Coach Calipari hasn't been as good as he once was. You don't have some of the big names at the big schools playing as well as they used to. It used to be when you had a matchup between Roy Williams and Coach K and Boeheim's waiting for you at the end. I mean, those are the names of college basketball, and Hurley is already one that we know. But now in a coaching role, and I think it's great.
Well, and he's also like
the
videos of him
yes.
and the fans being like, "Boo, Hurley," and him being like, "Come down here, you'll get hurt.
Fight you.
Come down here, let's go." Like it's beautiful, and it's also probably what's going to be able to keep college basketball looking like college basketball as opposed to the college football, where it has kind of morphed into NFL light.
Yeah. Well, there is competition for NBA light out there with the G League and all of the different things that are being created all the time with the Overtime Academy or whatever the hell it's called. You can play in Europe and make your way. There's a lot of transition path to get to the NBA. So college football, for it to keep its spirit, you're exactly right. It's Danny Hurley and its coaches that make you want to go and play college basketball, where you look at it and go, man, all I want to do is play for Juwan Howard at Michigan. Oh, wait.
He gone.
Oh, wait. You got a favorite story?
Oh, that's right. I was supposed to do the favorite story. I remembered everything but the dang favorite story. That being said, I do have a favorite story right now.
That's what favorite stories are. They should be stuck in your head already.
Yeah, they're my favorite. My favorite story, your Oregon Duckies pulling off the upset, making their way to the final Pac-12 championship.
The final of the Pac-12 ever, the Conference of Champions. I don't know who's broadcasting that game, but tell me that
it is
Bill
here on...
No. Is Bill
1080
Walton doing the television broadcast?
No, I don't think so.
That would be the only way to finish it. Conference of Champions.
Volcanoes.
Yes. Oh, my God. Is that a mandolin? I can play a mandolin.
That is... There's nothing better than Bill. I get it. Like, he's not your traditional, but
No.
I like Bill.
Well, it's, again, for the final Pac-12 championship game.
He needs to be a part of it in some way, in tie-dye.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Greatness.
Pac-12. I can't believe the Pac-12 is gone. How bizarre is this? Can we just go independent on football? The Pac-12 should have a basketball tournament. Arizona, right. UCLA, Oregon. Come on.
Right.
What are we doing?
Well, and that's the other thing with like
idiots.
Well, that's the thing with basketball. Like,
I thought you were saying that's the thing with greed and money.
Well, yes, true, but football should be its own thing. Everything else needs to be together because it can be governed and run the same way together.
Yeah.
Football has to be on its own. It's risen to a point where it needs to be solo.
Well, here's the thing.
Rest of them are
here's the thing. It always should have been. It used to get down to the end of the season. They go, I don't know. Notre Dame gets a championship. I don't know. Alabama.
Here we go.
Yeah. What do you think? USC. Yeah. Okay. USC.
Jams.
Come on. It's terrible. College football has always been the most anticlimactic of all sports.
Mhm.
And even with the college football playoff at 4 teams, they just go, these 4? That seems right? And then you're like, cool, Clemson, Alabama again. Nice job, dork.
Looks sweet.
Yeah.
All
Hey, if it
right.
ends up being Clemson, Alabama, at least they have to win a few games to get there.
True.
Can we just do that?
The playoff will be fun.
And then they've already now they're keeping the conference championship games and they don't matter now. Like even when you add something bigger, they ruin like this. Whatever. That's your good versus evil. It's brought to you by our friends at 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. You should eat their food. It's good. You know what you should do for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow?
Ooh, what?
Skip the corned beef and cabbage. Get some musubi and mai tais.
Ooh, can't wait. I
Yes.
love some good Hawaiian food.
Sunshine is out. Go to 808. You can order right on their website, ate-oh-ate.com. 2 locations, Burnside, Woodstock. Eat their food. It is good. In hour 2, we will pretend that we care about college basketball. Do not miss it. Sinner and Saint on 1080 The Fan. .com on the Odyssey app. Also available between the mashed potatoes and the macaroni and cheese on the Golden Corral buffet. You can get it right there. It is fantastic. So go and download it. If you want to talk to us on the show, you can use the Vancouver Ford text line. All texts on the fan are brought to you by the Vancouver Ford text line. Your dollar goes further at Vancouver Ford. They treat you right before, during, and after the sale. 503-864-6FAN, or as I like to say, 503-2GO-FAN. T-O-G-O fan. That's the best way to get a hold of us. Or guess what? Today, we're on YouTube. First time ever.
And
Center and
Twitch.
Saint. And Twitch. Are people watching on Twitch? How do I know if people are watching on Twitch?
People are watching on Twitch.
Nice. Are this in between like a marathon of like best moves in Super Mario Brothers history?
I don't know. Right now you got Adam0969.
What's up, Adam? Oh,
He's on
969?
Twitch.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Good, good
And
number.
then Groot's Twig says
Groot's?
he's on Twitch.
Yeah, what's up?
Or they're on Twitch. I don't know if that
All right.
is.
Who's on
male or
Who's on
female.
YouTube? We got people on YouTube. I'll get in personal
Yeah.
shout outs.
You've got Adam Jones and
Wait, is that the same Adams?
Jake the Snake.
Jake's my dude. Jake and I used to do some stand up shows together. It's been a while. Jake,
Did
hit
you
me up.
really?
Hit me up. Let's go do some stand up.
Ooh.
Getting bored. Why not? It's been a while.
Hey, go over to the Helium or
Yeah,
whatever.
we go over to Helium.
There
we
you
had a
go.
couple other.
I'll tell
yeah,
you
oh,
what.
there's a place over off right not far from where we are now.
I
Like
didn't
over
know
here
that.
by the yards, the train station things. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Went over and saw a Dan Soder show at
Yeah.
Helium. He just posted a clip. You can distinctly hear me and my buddies laugh. It's a lot of ha ha ha.
Man, my kids have the stupidest laughs. It's the funniest thing. They just chase around each other laughing. And one of their laughs is just completely insane, and I love it. It's kind of my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I
So.
got a little crazy belly laugh.
All right,
there.
well, if I do stand up, I'll let you know.
You let me know.
I
I'll
will.
come in and I'll
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah, yeah.
I'll belly laugh for
That's
you.
what. That's all I need. You think I'm funny sometimes, so it's always good to bring people that laugh easy and laugh big.
That's the plan.
Well, yeah.
Who will laugh the most?
Listen, you see the audience with people that you know are going to do it, and then I'll be like, oh man, you know what this guy likes, and then you
Well,
make fun of that.
You know, not to just keep bringing it around to fascism, but isn't that what they do? But with claps,
I'm sure they do.
they're like, hey, you like clapping and you like clapping loud? Come to my speech.
Yeah. So we can say like Dickies, like the pants, right?
Yeah, I'm aware of
So
that.
I'm sure we can say that here on the station. So we can read that on the Vancouver Ford text line where it says "less Dicky will" on.
Oh, I was gonna say I can't read the text line right now. My computer, my hotspot. I've ran out of hotspot, so
Yeah.
now is the time to
Wait.
get your vitriol and hate.
Wait, you can't read the text line because you're out of hotspots?
Yeah, I only have the text line on my computer. I had Dirt log in one time, and I've saved his log. I don't have access to the text line. I am on Dirt's text line or access, and
Do I need
so
to?
that's why I
could
cuss
probably
on
log
it
in
a
there.
lot.
Remind me, I could probably log in on there.
I can start firing back at the Will haters, the
Yeah.
Will hive.
Yeah, I'm sure. Is there any damage you can cause to the text line by sharing passwords?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't have owned up that that's how I got on
No,
the
I
text
think
line,
you're
but-
perfectly fine. I mean, listen, I've never done it, but I know plenty of people that have borrowed passwords for different logins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would never do it.
The
And
text
I-
line like Netflix now?
Yeah, I guess so.
cracking
Actually,
down.
what's funny is I've definitely done that live with people that are like, "Oh, you're on the fan," and they get all excited,
Mm.
and then they're like, "Man, is the text line really as crazy as it sounds?" Like, I can pull it up right now.
No,
You
can
do
see
it. You
yeah.
do it during prime time. That's a riot.
Hey, look, there are times when I'm teaching and it's study hall, and I can figure out what they're talking about on whatever show's going on.
Just by reading the text line.
Just by reading the
Yes,
text line.
absolutely.
It's a good time.
So wait, you don't have it's on your phone.
It's on my computer.
Oh, it's on your
It's
computer.
only on my computer.
And your computer doesn't have access to this Wi-Fi?
No, I've been here for a year and a half.
Oh, I've
and
got the
it won't-
Wi-Fi password too. I could just give
Oh,
you that.
okay, there you
That
go.
would be easier.
I
The
was gonna
Wi-Fi
say.
password I can share within the building.
Well, I was gonna say, just remember, like, ever since Dirt and Sprague gave it out, the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and like was that YouTube? Was it like
They did it. No, it was
they
a
did a
picture.
picture.
We weren't even on YouTube
That-
yet.
yeah,
They
that's
took
right.
a picture of
That was right.
something and it went out. So, anyways, when they did that, I've never
Yeah.
gotten the access back. So I've just always used my hotspot, and I learned this month because I've been in here every day using my hotspot that
Yeah.
I have a limited amount of hotspot data. So I've got like 2 days until my hotspot data resets.
Wow.
So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've never missed out on it. So did you know the best party in basketball is back?
Ooh,
Did you know that?
I'm really jealous about it right now.
Are you? Why? You working?
No, I'm in a wedding.
What? For the first weekend?
Yep.
I'm on my way to Europe for the second weekend. You know we got 2 weekends going on?
You lucky.
So Thursday and Friday.
Of this next one.
Of this next weekend.
Ooh.
Out at A. George McCoy and Warren Allen Attorney at Laws are presenting Fan Madness. So this Thursday and Friday, the 21st and 22nd, noon to 7, all our shows broadcasting live from the Stadium Sportsbook at A. Spelled Ilani. If you've just driven by sign, it's pronounced A. Don't ask me why. Danny and Dusty live, Isaac and Suk live, and then our friends at George McCoy, Warren Allen Attorney at Laws. I said that terribly. Our friend George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorney at Laws is going to take care of that. So if you're injured and missing work and it's ruining your day, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com. He'll make them pay. It's going to be a riot. And then for the Sweet 16,
so much fun.
For the Sweet 16, we're just going to keep it going like we did last year. X Golf.
Ooh.
On the 28th, Thursday the 28th.
Ooh.
Both shows from Tualatin. Friday the 29th. Both shows from Vancouver X Golf.
Ooh, I've snuck out to the Vancouver X Golf a couple times now. That's a good time.
So I'm playing in the X Golf League. And I don't want to brag on this, but we made it through the first round of the playoffs. Round 2, we're down to 8 teams.
Elite 8.
Match play. 3 guys, 1 cup is still rolling.
They're dominating.
We're not dominating. We eked it out on 18 at Coeur d'Alene last week, but we got it. Match play was tough. I don't know what happened during the season, but X Golf will keep track of your handicaps as the season goes on. Somehow my handicap is real low.
Oh, look at you! So now what you're saying is you're going to be on the tour.
Well, no. Here's the problem: is I'm not that good at golf, but apparently when I need a shot, I've been kind of a gamer. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not the best one on our team, but I've made some putts that mattered this season.
Well,
got us in the top 4 going into the playoffs. So we're a top seed. We're bringing on all comers, but this weekend we play the handicappers, and I don't know, but if I can get the swing dialed, I'm good. But if I'm off. I'm
in
off.
trouble.
So last week we played against a team got a stroke on every single hole. All 3 guys on their team got a stroke on every single hole. I had 1 stroke on 1 of 9, and another guy on our team had 2 strokes on 2 of 9, and we still won. We were playing a shot behind on every hole, and boom!
Still won.
Let's go. If you've not played X Golf at all, get out there. If you've not played one of the leagues, check it out. Yeah. They'll have another one in the fall. I'm trying to get you to come out and play.
Well, I know they need the leagues to not be on Mondays.
I know.
That's when I have to roundtable.
We'll figure it out. You want to pretend we care about college basketball?
Well, I have the Auburn Mississippi State game on right now, so you, sir, might be pretending. I'm locked.
Okay. Well, Will Ortner will tell you all the things you need to know about Selection Sunday and March Madness and get you ready for your bracket. We do it next on 1080 The Fan.
The tradition continues. It's the 68th annual
watch than the Players Championship. I know that the Masters is fantastic, and I know all of that. But number 17 at TPC Sawgrass,
It looks like so much fun.
it's so great. But there was a guy a few minutes ago, Straub, I think. It's been a little bit, but I was going to bring this up in the last segment. But just hits it immediately, drops his shoulder, drops his club, goes walking back to the bag as the ball just moves left right into the drink.
He's like, I know what's
Like-
happening.
Like, I don't know if it would be better if it was 18. Maybe it's better that it's 17. But as one of your 2 finishing holes for a tournament, and anytime there's any wind down there, the number of balls that go into the water just increases on that little. I know it's not an island, but the little peninsula shot. It's just great. And yes, I'm the old guy that's getting into history and golf. Every weekend I've been watching golf.
It's your dissension, dude.
It's not a dissension. It is a wisdom
rise?
that I'm growing. It is a maturity that I'm embracing, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I'd
Is it
rather.
a rise?
I'm playing in a golf league. Probably join a men's league this summer. The weather's so nice.
There you go.
It's a blast, dude. Come on,
Dude, golfing is great.
it is. And I was told by a friend of mine, I will say, but when I used to work out at Skamania Lodge, and I'd go out and I'd play a few holes after work, and there'd always be like our guys that worked as marshals on the weekend would play free golf all week. So the only guys playing out in the afternoon at Skamania Lodge during the week were just, the regular cast of characters. And this little guy, Larry, that I'd play with every once in a while. And Larry always, he dropped the same thing on me at least 6 times, but he goes, never play too much golf when you're young. Never play too little golf when you're old. So I plan on doing like a slow bleed into playing more golf as I go. But the Players Championship, some people call it the 5th major. I think I'm including myself as one.
I think the
of
waste management is the 5th major. Just
I-
because you have to get over major hangovers.
I will say that's a great one too. Like, but that's a fun thing about golf. And like, whoever decided there had to be 4 majors is a kind of dumb.
Yeah, and why does tennis abide by those rules too? Because clearly
Why is
tennis is the beta to golf.
Well,
Golf's the alpha. In that relationship,
globally,
golf dummies tennis.
how much money did Federer make compared to Tiger?
Let's see. You've got
Like it's, I think this is the way that we prove it. I think you're dead on. I think you're correct.
550 mil.
That's pretty good. 550 million. Is that for?
That's his
Federer?
estimated net worth.
That's Federer.
Yeah.
Whew. Might not be that much of a beta.
I don't know because
Tiger,
Tiger
billion?
is 1.1
Yeah, there you go.
billion dollars.
Yeah. I
bet
mean, that's a comp, right? Like
That's a comp.
but that's the comp.
Yes, that's the net worth to net worth. But it also could be one of those things too where
Well,
what's the average? Like is the average better at tennis, but like the peak end is better in golf?
I don't know. We'll go top end, but yeah. I think you're right. I don't think you're wrong. I was curious what it was. I mean, Roger Federer was like he had the
was
Nike.
awesome.
He had the Nike. He had the whole thing, right?
But like you can get casual sport fan into golf.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get casual sport fan into tennis.
Well, Darkins is a tennis player. That's why he refuses to play golf.
Oh,
His
really?
old man sport is tennis.
He's worried it will mess up his wrist motion or something.
No, but he's like, I just like tennis too much. Like with the
Wait till he
downtime
gets
that,
into pickleball.
that we have as parents of young children, you can't dedicate yourself to 2 sports.
You got to pick one.
Pick one.
This is like
Find your
in high
lane.
school when you had to pick which one you were going to be best at to possibly get a scholarship. Like,
Oh,
is it basketball or is it football? Which one will I choose?
I did not do that.
When I'm old, am I going to pick tennis or am I going to pick golf?
I will say, when I had kids, I traded in pickup or city league basketball and co-ed softball. Traded that in for golf.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, dude.
Why do you have to choose?
Well-
Why do kids make you specialize? We should not
That's
have
not-
to specialize.
Well, can I tell you the thing that I realized too is every time I left to play basketball or softball, my wife would go, "Don't get hurt." And every time I left to play golf, she'd go, "Have fun." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to blow out my knee." And I watched enough guys do it and split their faces open playing basketball, which I actually did a few times when I was younger. But yeah, dude, the amount of injuries and the way I felt after playing like competitive basketball, like everything kind of hurts. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go play golf. And now I get like a shoulder or wrist that bothers me. It's not nearly as debilitating as partial tear of a rotator cuff from playing co-ed softball.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair.
You know what I mean? And you take, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there to register for whatever league. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look, I like golf. Golf will be my old man sport, so
Yep.
I get
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
But I'll be damned if my kids are like, Daddy, you have to pick one.
Oh no, they didn't
pickleball
tell
or
me I
golf."
had to pick.
I
I
don't
like my
know.
kids, so I've chosen.
You
to
like
spend
your
more
kids?
time
I haven't
yeah.
decided if I'm gonna like my kids yet.
Yeah. Well, you don't have. Yeah.
I don't have kids. I don't have to. I don't have to decide until I have them which one I like
Yeah.
more.
You do realize that time is a pretty valuable thing when you have kids. That's one thing that I will say.
That's probably fair. Well, look, I'm a teacher. I'm basically a
You
parent. I have a dog. I get it. It's the same. Peanut doesn't make me choose.
There you go. Well, you know what though? You probably have to decide whether or not you're going to go on long vacations, or unless you have somebody to watch Peanut. That's why I don't want a dog, is I like to travel.
I am the person that watches Peanut. That's the problem.
Yeah, this is my point.
The former roommates, they go on
is that-
vacations.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then I stay and I watch my dog.
Well, there you go. All right, Will Ortner is going to give you everything you need to know about college basketball if you are like me and have not paid attention or not even pretended to pay attention all year. We do it after this SportsCenter update.
In Nome, the Iditarod finished this week.
Yes!
4 women dog mushers finished in the top 10. First time in history that many women have finished in the top 10.
I love it.
You've got a 5th place, you've got a 7th, an 8th, and a 10th.
Let's go. How long is the Iditarod? How long?
It's like a month, I think.
A month.
It's a long time. Well, one of the people had to kill a moose. And then didn't kill it right and got disqualified.
Because they didn't kill the moose properly? You're allowed to kill moose, but you have to do it in the right way?
Yeah, well, like if the moose is in your way.
I need more information. That's the story. Wait,
There should
what?
have been the favorite story.
How did they
I
do it?
missed
Did they
out
like
on
use
this
a grenade or something
one.
instead
No, I
of?
think they stabbed it.
They stabbed a moose. Wait, what's the improper way? I need more about that story.
Dallas Seavey overcame killing a moose and a time penalty. They finished. The person who killed the moose won.
So they didn't get disqualified.
I apologize. That was
Oh.
fake news on my part.
So they had to kill a moose because it was on the track?
Yeah, so the race started March 2nd. This article came out on the 12th, so about 10 days.
Okay.
As I'm going through.
So 10 days of mushing?
Yeah, I'm trying to find where it
15?
says
They
he
just
killed the
finished right up
moose.
now? Oh, man.
Yeah. So he was driving the sled. The moose gets in his way. He shoots and killed the moose with his handgun.
Nice.
Race rules require any big game animal killed in defense of life or property to be gutted before the musher moves on.
Yeah.
He said he gutted the moose the best he could. However, he was given a 2-hour time penalty because he only spent 10 minutes gutting the moose.
Oh, he half-assed the gutting of the moose.
So if he would have fully gutted the moose, he'd be okay.
But it probably would have taken him an extra 2 hours.
right.
But he still won,
He still won.
even with the time penalty.
They're
I think he
saying
made the
has
right decision.
He's the goat of the Iditarod mushers, apparently.
Is he? Is he pretty dominant out there?
Even, well, I mean, if you can overcome murdering a moose,
Is it murder? It was
I don't know, it
self-defense.
just sounds funny. Yeah, well, isn't self-defense still like second-degree murder or something?
No, it's self-defense.
Self-defense gets you out of murder?
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
do I define self-defense? What if they looked at me weird?
Well,
Did the moose look at him weird, so he had to take out the moose?
it was like I want to see a picture of the moose.
I
Moose
like
could be like 7.5 feet tall.
I like that there's a rule in there that's like, if you have to murder a moose,
Yeah.
just make sure you gut it.
So let's say I'm golfing and I hit it down by the water hazard and there's a gator down there. Can I kill the moose if I gut it properly?
Yeah, why not?
Just asking. Like,
what and kill the gator? Like,
would I have to do it, or like you get a 3-stroke penalty if you don't gut the gator properly?
and they have like people on TV and Twitter that
I
are
need-
watching the film back, like, no, he did not gut it properly. He grounded his knife before he started gutting the gator.
He touched the sand trap with the knife before he got the gator. Oh man, I'm kind of excited about this. What other sports have murder clauses in there where you're allowed to kill animals that get in your way?
Well, I mean, like I would assume, like any kind of shooting, hunting. Some people
Like
consider a
cross-country
sport.
skiing?
Yeah, like the
Like
one
if
where
you're
you
doing
got
the
the gun on the back.
biathlon.
Yeah, and a moose charges you.
Yeah,
Why
but
couldn't
okay, but like let's say a squirrel gets in your way.
you can't just shoot a squirrel. Why
Just
would you shoot?
You already have a gun.
I know, but why would you shoot the squirrel?
All right. Well,
There's
thank you.
nothing
Thank you for that. That was the best update I've had all day.
Don't worry, dude. I've got you. Stuff's going down in Alaska. The Iditarod. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Will Ortner at the Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs.
A little time. Ortner, what do we need to know? Give me the 10,000-foot view. Who are the top seeds? We know Oregon is a bubble team.
Oregon has to win tonight.
They have to win tonight.
They have to win.
Even beating number 6 Arizona.
No, they got to win.
Wasn't enough.
No, they got to win. Well, because going into it, Oregon has had a rough year in the fact of their injury luck has been. It's just been horrific. When you look at teams like what they were projected to be versus what they are, when you look at Oregon, if you didn't know about the injuries, you're like, it's kind of a disappointing year. Then you look, it's like, Oh, like half the team has been hurt at different points. And Fale Dante missed a bunch of time. He's your best
Everybody
player.
healthy now?
For the most part. And Fale Dante had a rough fall, so he's going to be kind of bruised and beat up. But he came back against Arizona. You're playing Colorado. You struggled with Colorado. The nice thing is, like Pac-12, Arizona's getting in for sure. They're probably a 2 seed. WSU's getting in. I think they're a 4 or 5. Colorado looks to be like, I think they're one of the next 4 in. So they're just going to avoid having to go to Dayton. But if Oregon wants to get in, they're not even on like the next 4 out, right?
Oh.
So they have to win the Pac-12 title game to get the automatic qualifier. But if you're like a fan of Pac-12 hoops, you really want that. Oregon has been coming alive as of late. Jackson Shellstad, he is a freshman. He's actually, I believe he's West Lynn, but he's from the Portland area. A lot of fun to watch.
Do our bubble busters bracketology pick'em Selection Sunday crew that like they have people picking this, right? It's not all they don't factor in injuries.
It's a committee. Yeah, they do, but remember the Pac-12 isn't viewed as that good of a conference, right? Like when you think about it, it's Arizona, then the team that was supposed to be 8th. They were supposed to finish 8th is now the number 2 team in the conference.
It's always funny how that hurts you in college sports.
Right.
It's another dumb thing. It's like, well, they weren't supposed to be that good, and they're good. That must mean everybody else is bad. What?
They're not as good as we
well,
thought.
When
and
we
they're not
put
blue
together
blood.
our preseason poll off of stuff that we didn't know about these teams, they were ranked really low, so you don't get any credit for beating them. It's very dumb. It's like if you start in the top 25, all the teams that get to play you benefit if you're terrible.
Right.
And all the teams that don't somehow just get left out. College football is worse, but
Right. Well, and then you have like quad 1 wins, quad 2 wins. How does this affect your net? How does that affect your net? So as far as the Pac-12, Oregon needs to win tonight. That game can be heard here on the Fan. If you're looking at teams that could win the title, UConn right now is the favorite to repeat. They're freaking awesome. They lost some players, but Hurley has just ran that crew. Like you develop, you sit for a year or two, you develop, you play. They're in the Big East. Big East is awesome. Hurley's a great
that's
coach.
a college basketball conference, and one of the things that about the whole one and done things, kind of ripping up college basketball from what it used to be, is you would see guys play in 2 or 3 tournaments, and it was always a blast.
You get to know them, get to hate them, or love them.
Well, yeah, I mean it's one or the other. Oh, like Jerry McNamara for Syracuse, that was my dude. Let's go,
Big fan.
love that guy. Or just like some of the guys that you have play that aren't NBA guys.
Right.
And those are the ones where it gets really fun, and you just kind of. Gonzaga's had their fair share over the years. Duke's had theirs. And, Bobby Hurley was never going to be the greatest NBA player of all time, but let's go and get some college basketball kids out there.
No, it's fun again.
So that's that I enjoy. So hopefully people will kind of follow that lead that UConn's setting. Who else do we need to watch for? Purdue, they going to lose in the first round?
Purdue, they're supposed to be better
What's that
this
guy's
year.
name? He's 7'8".
Zach Edey.
Edey's
good. The problem is he gets officiated different in the tournament. The guards are good, but again, they live and die by the 3, and when you're trusting college kids to hit 3-pointers, that can be a problem. Houston's really good.
Yeah.
When you
they're
look at
all defense, yes?
They're both. When you look at Ken Palm and their adjusted
Who
offensive
is Ken Palm, and why are you so excited about him?
Ken Palm is basically some stat nerd who has gone in and has created like ranking systems and different metrics to go in and look at different teams. So the one that most people look at is adjusted offensive and defensive efficiency. So basically, if a team got 100 possessions, how many points would they score? How many points would they give up in a given game? The reason that this is important is the last 20 champions, aside from Shabazz Napier's UConn team, and they were right around that number, have fallen in the top 20 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Makes sense, right? The best teams, the most well-rounded teams, typically win. That's why Calipari's teams have issues. They play great offense. They don't play good defense, and if their shot isn't going in, they're in trouble. You have teams that play great defense but can't buy a bucket. You get into issues.
Tony Bennett's Virginia teams.
Right. And the one that had a good offense won the title. So
and the one that didn't lost in the first round.
Exactly. So what I do is I look at that number and then I find the couple teams that fall into that, and it adjusts every day, so you have to be careful about that. And so I put a couple futures before the bracket even came out on who I think could win the title. And then everything after that has just been the last 2 or 3 days. I've dove into college basketball. It's so much fun. Sneak up to A-Lene, put some bets down, go to the gym, hang out, watch games, go nuts, make the gym hots think that I'm a crazy person, then go home. Yeah, I am. And then go home and then just cheer about the tournament. Now I think that my brackets will be better because I'm watching more games, but college basketball really is awesome right now. It's so chaotic. It's March. It's the best time of the year. And for a lot of people who get frustrated with what the NBA has kind of turned into, this is old school basketball. It's not good basketball. The best basketball is in the NBA.
Okay.
But it's fun basketball.
Fun basketball. I like that. Okay, so you give me the teams that I need to watch. You've already said UConn. It didn't sound like you're all in on Purdue. So outside of UConn, I need the teams to watch. We'll do that in something we call What to Watch. We do it next. Center and Saint, 1080 The Fan.
Have you filed an auto
And increasingly out of touch father of twin girls, Luke Anderson, are here to tell you what to watch. Literally, it's What to Watch on The Sinner and the Saint on 1080 The Fan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got conference tournaments underway. Will Ortner with me has some bets placed on those. But what I want to know is who are the teams that I need to watch in the tournament? Who are the ones where if I'm building my bracket,
Right.
who are the ones that I pick that can make a crazy run? From like middle of the pack, are the
Ooh,
top
middle of
seeds
the pack?
but are the top seeds? If you don't have them, you don't
Right.
have them. But is it just gonna be top seeds that are gonna roll? Where are the top seeds that could falter? We know
Right.
Purdue lost.
Purdue will always scare the crap out of me.
Okay.
So that-
whoever's playing Purdue, watch
Right.
watch Purdue to lose.
Be careful with that one. I think Marquette, I think they're probably going to be a 2 seed, maybe a 3 seed. They could make a run. My dark horse is playing right now, Auburn. I think
Ooh.
Auburn can make a run. They are really good offensively and defensively, and you're going to get really good odds on that. I bet them at plus 2,200
Ooh, to win the whole thing.
to win the whole thing. So you'll get good odds there. I mean, the favorites are going to be UConn and Houston.
Yeah.
So love that. Stay away from Alabama. Stay away from Kentucky. They don't play a lick of
Yeah.
defense, and it's college basketball. You think that they're going to stay hot shooting the entire time?
No.
There is no freaking chance.
Well, and especially if you're picking to win, because when you get
Right.
down to it, and I don't know, I haven't looked. Do you know where they're playing the Final Four?
No, but it's going to be in a big arena.
And that really affects shooting because we end up playing in a stadium most of the time, right?
Right.
And so if you're playing in a stadium, you have different backdrops or whatever, but you always get it's kind of a bummer because the Final Four games are always, I think, the most disappointing of the tournament. You only get 2 games and then you go there. The championship games sometimes can be good because at least you've played there once. But for me, the most disappointing games most of the time, not always, obviously, but are the Final Four games.
They're in Phoenix.
They're playing at
the State Farm or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're playing at the football stadium.
Yeah.
in Glendale, Arizona.
And those are always unders because
Yeah.
guys aren't used to it.
Yep.
They got to adjust. Plus, then you've got to factor in that everyone has nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Well, you get the layoff, and then you get
Right.
all the hype going. Yeah, the Final Four is the place to go. But the championship game is always fun because everybody's played
Right.
there. The nerves are out of the way. It's the teams that were able to hang on, and now it's just let's go out and win a championship. Unless you're Gonzaga, and then they choke.
Right.
Ducks going to win tonight.
I'd hope so. The other one to pay attention to, the Pilot women. They
Yeah.
made the tournament. They won.
Absolutely, 3 out of the last 5 years.
That's right. The rumor right now, bracketology, they're predicting they're going to end up in Corvallis, taking on the Lady Bees.
Woo, let's go.
And
Was
this-
it Riley Beers? Is that the gal down there?
Reagan Beers.
Reagan Beers.
And then the great Talia Van Ohoffen.
Yeah.
Her father, Chemo, my old D-line coach.
Woo, let's go.
Also
All right.
breaker of Carson Palmer's
Get some beeves
leg.
and pilots going on in there.
great.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for